So let us begin the story of Tattoogate in its entirety. So firstly, I'm opening with this TikTok purely to show you the kind of art that we are talking about. Okay, so initially the artist's name was not actually put out there, right? But before we start talking about the costs of tattoos, this is the arse, by the way.
Yeah, this is the
Before we start talking about the cost of these tattoos, I want you guys to see the kind of work we are talking about here, right? I'm going to mute this because the music is essentially, it's just a TikTok meme, right? But this is the art by the TikTok Gate artist.
So
we have this thing.
Lindsay Joseph's tattoos, are these $2,000 tattoos?
Yes.
Oh my God, these are cost...
$2,000 tattoos.
Oh my God.
And sometimes more. Well, thigh and hip, yes, but the cheek was visible.
I hate watercolor tattoos personally.
So we've got this. We got this.
I mean, that one was cool. I like the turtle.
Yeah, we got this. I would not give this $2,000.
I don't understand the perspective of that one.
I would say, where is the shading? She does line work and some colors and no shading whatsoever. I personally think that this is the wonkiest circle I've ever seen in my life.
That's like as wonky as an orange. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst line work I've ever seen, but like it's also like not perfect. I feel like she really made a hash of those flowers.
So I don't overall think that this is great art. But
No.
I mean, these look like teeth. They don't look like flowers. Even if you were doing
like
this,
teeth.
even if you were doing this in a very like minimalist style, which is quite popular. Like, do you see this line down here?
Yeah.
When you're paying someone for a minimalist like single line tattoo,
It looks like a
that doesn't connect.
Yeah.
These look like teeth. They need better. They need some better lines on them.
I don't like the I don't like the specs. I'm not a big the specs. No.
I don't think the specs are adding personally.
The one of the like the creature, and Tom, think of the song.
The creature, this thing.
No, it's that's not bad.
I thought that was
That's
all right.
This.
Yeah.
I don't understand where its arms are.
Here, and then it sort of squiggles,
I don't.
and then butt. I don't know. I do think that the squiggliness of it really flies in the face of the way that spines work. But yeah, I will say I think this is probably the worst one, but I do think that they are all pretty weak. If I paid 50p in a bag of Wotsits, I would be pissed.
Yeah,
yes.
These are what if your mate was learning the tattoo and was finally getting like a bit more confident, you'd be happy with these. Do you know what I mean?
And like, if you look at this as like a full, complete piece, it's fine.
It's
right?
busy.
There's a lot happening, and I think that it could be better laid out. Like, I imagine some of this would look quite strange from the front.
Also, the musical notes did not match the theme of the rest of the tattoo.
No, I just don't think that you're spending Falcor, but from the dollar store. Yeah, so that was just giving you the setting of this. So this is the TikTok which kind of set it off, and I'm gonna let her at least speak through most of it. I'm gonna put it on slightly higher speed because everyone speaks too slowly on TikTok.
They do.
And we're
Watch time is really important, Jet. Watch time.
Well, I mean, I don't blame her.
Watch time.
Well, I mean, I don't blame her.
You got the stream open.
I do. So I was like, oh, I wonder if my audio is working. There I am. Get out of here. Okay, now we're safe.
Cool.
Success. Fred did the Emily thing.
I
Pressed
did.
the wrong button. Wrong button. Anyway.
Story time, hopefully one part. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. So I wanted a tattoo by this artist who I love, who's very talented on Instagram.
Sweet.
This is nothing to do with her talent as a tattoo artist, just kind of the business practices that I've dealt with over the last 24 hours. So booked a consult with her a couple months ago. Consult was non-refundable. It was $180. That was listed on her website. That's fine.
$180 to book
Deposit.
a consultation.
Oh.
I paid that. We had a Zoom consult on Friday. I showed her these reference photos. as to what I wanted
$180 for a Zoom consultation.
Yes.
That's too much.
Yes. It continues in that manner. So, yeah, and it gets pretty crazy. Like, it starts off like, oh, this woman is kind of a scammer. And the second woman it gets crazy. So she turns up.
Okay.
She wants something like this.
So she's
right?
given the tattoo artist these pictures.
These pictures.
So you know that's very sort of like, I clearly want one of these.
Yes. So she's like, I'll let her
a
explain.
half upper arm sleeve. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I said I wasn't really picky on what kind of flowers I wanted. I wanted the fox to look like he was running. Foxes were my favorite animal. I said I wanted some watercolor on the fox. The flowers were just going to be whatever she thought would look good.
Sure.
She then proceeded to tell me, after I had already booked I paid for the consult, she told me that she had these 3 options for her design fee. So she charges a design fee to design her tattoos. So the first option was $1,500 plus tax, and you get a concept sketch, and you can make one minor change, and then a final design that you.
So you get a $1,500. You get a concept sketch and one option for a minor change. And then you get it, right?
Okay, so this is one of the best tattooers in the world.
I think we already know. And that's why I wanted to show you the way the tattoos looked to start with, right?
I do notice that she currently has no tattoo on her arm.
Yeah.
Like, I do notice this.
The option number 2 was $3,500 plus tax.
$3,500.
2 concept sketches and a couple changes and a final design review again. And then option 3 was $6,000 plus tax, where you would get multiple sketches and lots of reviews and lots of changes and like a canvas of your concept.
What?
At first, I kind of thought that.
Yeah. So there are 3 options, starting at, was it 1,500, where you go
1,500, yeah.
1,500, where she goes, hey, you can make a couple of minor changes and you get 1 sketch. Then the second version where you get 2 sketches, so 2 options, and a couple more minor changes. And then the third one where you get several sketches for $6,000, and you also get a version of it on a canvas.
So 1,500 quid, you get what you get.
Yeah.
A little bit more money. You know what? I'll try and change a couple of more bits for you. 6 grand is what you have to pay to be happy.
Yeah.
If you want exactly your tattoo, you got to pay 6. That's insane.
Yeah, so that's already like red flag. Get me the flag.
That price was going to then be taken out of the final cost of my tattoo, but then I find out that it was not.
That price was not taken out of the final cost of the tattoo. So, often when you book tattoos, right?
That's the design fee.
Yeah.
$6,000.
Yeah. To have the design, and then you still have to pay for the actual tattoo put
I thought
on
this
your
was
body.
the entire thing.
Yeah. Absolutely insane, right? So she then
my
finds out
God.
after booking that because artists will usually charge you a deposit, right? Because the amount of time that people go, actually, I'm not going to come in. I'm not
Yes.
going to do it. I want 6 million changes.
Especially if you're
you know?
a booked up artist, right? You definitely don't want someone fucking with your
Yeah, you don't
with
want
your
to spend
schedule.
all day, especially for custom designs, right? Because you're not buying flash. You're coming in, you want X and Y. I want a bicycle. I want a picture of my dad's fucking favorite shoe. I want all these things put in, and you've got to try and make it work and be cohesive and fit into a design that's this big. And they're like, you know, fine. But it's a deposit, right?
My
It comes
God.
off the cost of the final tattoo.
I was still kind of blindsided, didn't really know what to say. She asked which option worked best for me. Obviously, I picked number 1 because like it's super expensive. And she had these pictures, so I was confident that she was going to make me a beautiful piece.
you're
So
confident.
Monday
You got
rolls
good
around,
reference.
and she sends me this.
So she spent $1,500 Canadian dollars on this.
What?
Now, I just want to take a second to behold what she asked for,
Best for me. Obviously, I picked number 1
which
because
was
like it's super
a full body fox. Dude,
Yeah.
TikTok is the worst. But it was a
Of your
full body
concept.
fox.
Yeah, the tail and everything, right? Like,
She
yeah.
brings her this.
She said she wanted the tail in it.
Yeah.
sent her. It's nothing like what I wanted. I emailed her immediately to tell her that I wanted a full fox. I wanted a tail. I wanted the fox to be the main feature. I wanted to be less flowers, more fox forward. And I said, I know I picked option 1, but this isn't what I'd asked for with my pictures I sent you. She said that if I wanted another sketch, she was going to charge me the difference between option 1 and option number 2, which is $2,260. She said it was my fault that I wasn't clear that I wanted a full fox. But like, honestly, these are the 2 pictures I sent her, both full fox, both in the same
Insane.
position.
Yeah,
I
GC's
don't know
art
how much
projects.
clearer I
Yeah,
could
no,
have been.
honestly,
She
that wasn't
didn't ask
even.
if I wanted a full
It
fox.
wasn't even
I
good,
didn't have
right?
to say I wanted a full fox. There's gonna have to be a part 2.
What a
Now,
fucking
I want to
shame.
just say,
Holy
right?
shit.
There's way more. I need to jump to the next one. But I did want to say that clearly what she does is get people in, charges you that initial money, and then you've got the sunk cost fallacy of, I've already spent $200, I may as well book the thing. Oh, well, I've already asked for the sketch, I may as well, blah, 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 right? I mean, like, yeah, the funny thing is, I don't know if you guys know this. Well, you don't know this. Why would I say it like that? But I haven't got the TikTok here to show you, but she actually has other tattoos.
Never blame the customer,
This
right,
is
Peachy?
not her first... This is not her first tattoo, so she's just getting fucked with because she likes this woman's art.
Right.
Fox tattoo. So here's the email where she tells me that I didn't tell her that I wanted the fox to have a full fox, even though I sent her 2 pictures saying I wanted the fox to have a full fox. So you can pause to read.
Come on, bro.
When we discussed the fox, you didn't say that the fox had to be in that downward position. You didn't mention that the tail had to be visible. You said you liked the fact that it looked like it was in motion, which I do feel like captured in the concept I offered. It's running and leaping through the frame of flowers. The petals give the impression it's just burst through the flowers with no time to waste. It's like, yeah, but I sent you 2 examples and this doesn't look like those. The images you sent, I don't feel the foxes are in a very natural position. They almost look a bit broken and pancaked. Was because it's a 2-dimensional picture of a 3-dimensional animal.
Yeah.
That's how it works. In an awkward position. Not saying it's not possible to get the fox in the position that you're imagining. I'm just saying I don't feel like these examples are accurate to body position. Then why take on the work?
Yeah.
Just say, nah, I don't want to do your flat fox.
Well, you're contradicting yourself by saying I did what you want, but also what you wanted wasn't right, and I took that into consideration.
Yeah, I saw what you wanted, thought that shit, did my own thing.
Yeah.
It looks way better. It's like, it's
But also,
not...
I did exactly what you asked for. It's like,
Yeah.
well, which one is it? Did you do what I asked for, or did you do your own thing?
Literally.
So now I have paid her $2,695, the consultation, the design fee, plus $1,000 deposit for my actual tattoo date to book that. And she's telling me that she wants another $2,260 in order to just redraw my sketch, even though I told her, I sent her the pictures and showed her exactly what I wanted. She's saying it's my communication skills and that I didn't communicate exactly what I wanted. So you can pause to read my response to her.
I don't know how to be clearer than sending 2 very similarly positioned foxes.
Yeah.
The deflection and blame towards my communication skills is not professional. You asked me why a fox, and why a fox, and asked preference of flowers. It didn't cross my mind to say, and it didn't cross yours to ask full body or not. I sent pictures to do my communication for me since I seem so bad at it. Are you suggesting my only options are get a tattoo I don't want, pay $2,260 for another sketch, or I'm out $2,695?
Dude.
Yeah. At least refunding my $1,000 seems reasonable. You say you're clear and lay out your options from the beginning, but your website and email say nothing about paying a design fee. I was blindsided at the cost of that.
Bruh.
I wish I had known before I had booked a consultation, or at least been given time to fully contemplate the exorbitant cost before I agreed to it.
That's crazy.
She is accurate.
Where I tell her that I don't think it's a good business practice and that she should make her clients aware before they book a consultation that you're going to ask for a design fee on top of the tattoo fee.
That's crazy.
So then she kindly comes back and tells me that I can do this option where I just pay for option 1 again for another $16.95 instead of the $22.60, and she'll make me another sketch. So again, I'm just trying to make her understand that I wasn't aware when I booked the consultation that I was going to have to pay this design fee. And then I think that I urged her to put it on her website that she was going to charge people this before they booked in with her. Yeah. And so she sent me this response.
The design collab is an optional service for those clients that wish to have more influence on a tattoo design and opportunities for feedback and making changes. I hate, honestly.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not the biggest fan of tattoo artists in the way in their practice in the first place. This is outrageous. I feel like tattoo artists often really get overzealous with their vision and their art that's going to go in other people's bodies, and I don't like it. I don't like the way tattoo artists approach that. I think they're wrong on that front. And this is the extreme end
I
of
have
that.
seen people who get like really upset about like tattoo placement. Like there's a traditional way that tattoos on your arms are supposed to face. They're supposed to face away from you.
Yeah.
But when people are like, I want my tattoo to face me, people will sometimes get really offended by that. And it's like, yeah, I understand that like it's a tradition, but I also think at the end of the day, if that's how somebody wants it on their arm, they're paying for the
traditions
thing.
are supposed to be broken as well, and at the end of the day, are you doing the work or are you not? You know, like you're not the gatekeeper of like the tattoo integrity. You know what I mean? You're just someone who's Yeah. I'm going to become a shitty tattoo artist. It's money for nothing. Yeah, apparently. Johnny!
Getting closer to that 10 years. Here is to another 10 or 50 years. Oh, she
Fuck yeah, let's go, Johnny.
Johnny!
Woo!
That is over 9.5 years now, and yeah, getting really close to 10 years.
Now, chat,
that's
is
so
a
amazing.
game giveaway if you would like to win a free game, because Johnny Canuck has provided us with a beautiful tier 3 sub. Type !, enter. Make sure you're following. It is open for everybody. If you're a tier 2 or a tier 3 sub, please don't forget to type in ! have I won? See if you've won any games while you're away, because you are entered automatically into all the giveaways as a thank you for being so generous. Anyway, back to this crazy tattoo stuff, right? Yeah, you think that there may be police reports coming, but I'm just saying there are, but you're not ready for it.
You're not ready for this, chap.
So,
I don't know what it is, but you're not ready
says
for
that
it.
was an optional fee. And I was never told that that fee was optional. She presented me with 3 options, asked me which one I was most comfortable with. I should have walked away at that point. That's on me. I'm that person that will eat the wrong meal that comes to me at the restaurant and thank you for a bad haircut and all that stuff.
Right,
so
right,
honestly,
right.
that is on me. But
there's no way, though, that this tattoo artist, who is a woman and obviously does a lot of like tattoos for women
Yeah.
and on women, there is no way that she knows that a lot of women are people pleasers, and she deliberately takes advantage of that by being like, oh no, well, it must have been my fault. I must have misunderstood that it cost £1,000 to get a slight sketch. Do you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like she is taking the piss and knows she's doing it.
I feel like she could have been clearer from the get-go. I didn't know there was an option 4. She never went over option 4. She wrote 1, 2, 3. Those were the options that she gave me. And she goes on to say that regarding
She's
my
being
reference
way too
material, that looks
generous
the other
with her,
boxes.
like,
She didn't like the position
assessment.
they were in, and the one looked like it was scooting when they get an itchy back end, which I'm really sure that the artist that made those tattoos would be happy to hear that that's what she thinks.
Yeah, regarding your reference material, I'm pretty sure that one fox is laying down and the other doesn't look like it's running to me, but jumping down or scooting when they get an itchy back end. Woo, professional. Congratulations, Cubit.
Hey, Cubic, congrats, dude.
Like-
You won Sock Worlds.
And that, like, if it's my financial situation that I can't afford to pay for this redesign, then I should maybe like look at getting a tattoo in the future. It's not that I don't have the finances for it. It's that I can't give her any more money when I feel like I wasn't she wasn't upfront with me from the beginning. So then I call her out for not telling me that there was a 4th option and asking her if she's going to give me a refund because I didn't get that option from the beginning. Sorry, there's going to be a part 3.
Now, I'm pretty sure she does not get her refund. There is another part to it. But I wanted to show you guys someone else who has now come forward and gone, yo, I had the same experience with this artist, but it goes even crazier, right?
A tattoo by this artist who I love, who's very talented, on Instagram.
I guess it was only a matter of time before somebody else came out with a story about this
Small
artist.
world.
So I'm going to share my story about how I was basically scammed out of $4,000 from this same artist. She's in Cambridge. I guess I'll start with, I didn't read the reviews about her, so that's on me, whatever it is. And I don't even know if there were bad reviews at that time, because it was actually 2021 that I booked my consult with her initially. Paid my
Two consecutive
$180,
giveaways.
and yeah, we had a consultation that I wanted my shoulder and up into my collarbone here, so I have birds that I wanted covered. And so she, at the time, she only did phone consults.
Remember,
so,
she wants the
over
birds
the phone,
covered.
we discussed the design, floral and that sort of thing, and she quoted me $1,700
Oh, I turned up the speed. I can turn it back down.
for that tattoo, again, going here and up to here, and she said 50% deposit due, so $850. So I e-transferred her the $850. Now, almost immediately after I got pregnant, so we had to postpone, and then when I was not pregnant, she said she had a head injury, so blah, blah, blah. Anyways, appointment time finally comes, and it's December 2022 now. Okay, and a few days before the appointment, she calls me to go over the design.
There's a button for
and
it.
she says, hey, I'm not going to be able to do the birds. Like, I can't cover it with the design, so we're just going to do the shoulder. And I was like, well,
What?
that's not
Yeah.
what we had discussed and what I was quoted. And so I gave it some other suggestions about, like,
That's not
coming
what
up to
I'm
my
here
neck
for.
and that sort of thing. And she
So
said,
she literally was like, yo, I want a tattoo that goes up my arm here onto my shoulder and it covers these birds. And so she's been like, yeah, I'll do that. And then it's like, actually, I can't do that just before the appointment.
But
it's
also, like, I've taken your money and I'm
Yeah.
just going to do the thing. I'm just going to do whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, cover-ups are difficult. I get that. Like, but loads of artists successfully do cover-ups all the time.
Yeah, cover-ups are
there
really
was
normal.
no reason, even for like super dark ones like that. Sometimes they'll say, hey, go get like 2 goes of laser to lighten it so that we can go over it more easily. Because sometimes people will be like, I don't want a gigantic, super dark cover up.
Yeah.
And people will be like, right, well, in that case, let's lighten this up. Or even do a blast over, which is where you tattoo over an existing tattoo and let the other one essentially like peek through. And it's often done on like old color tattoos and stuff like that. Yo, Jetstorm, congratulations.
Congrats,
and yeah,
dude.
Johnny, if any of you guys ever go to claim a game and you're like, oh, I already have that game or I don't want it or whatever, that's absolutely fine. It is built into the site, so all you need to do is click like put it back on the wheel and then you can put it back on.
Calm it's all going to be, it's all going to be state specific, isn't it? In America, it's going to be state specific. I don't know about Canada though. And is this Canadian?
This is Canada, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm sure
Like,
they
maybe.
do, but I don't know about
But tattoos are kind of like it's like, yeah, it's weird, man.
But yeah, this gets crazier, right?
It gets crazy. Yeah.
You want to change the design, then you have to pay a whole new consultation. Now keep in mind, this is right after she changed
What?
the design.
So she wants to
She said
charge
if I
her.
don't like the new plan, I can cancel. And I would lose my $850 deposit.
Yeah. So the artist
Wait, what?
said, hey, I'm not doing what we agreed on. I'm doing something else. Deal with it. She said, no, I want this. She said, well, then you have to pay for me to redesign the design. She's like, but that doesn't make any sense. You're the one who changed it. And she's like, well, you can cancel, but I'm taking $850 off you.
Bruh.
She was quite rude. And so obviously I felt completely obligated to go to this appointment. Wasn't going to be a huge tattoo, so it should be able to be done in one day and be out of there and never have to deal with her again. That was not to be. So a couple days later, the appointment comes. I show up at 9 a.m. appointment time. And this lovely human doesn't even start until close to 1 p.m. She tattoos me for 2.5 hours, gets the outline done, and then she says that she has to leave to pick up her kids. I'm going to continue this in part 2.
So she books,
Fuck.
as is standard, for those of you who like aren't tattooed
Why would you
or
start
don't
at
know.
1 if you have to leave at like 3 or 4 to pick up your kids?
Yeah. So what she did was, because she had a big tattoo, she booked out, she did the day rate, right? You pay for the day, you get the day of tattooing, you get tattooed. Well, she didn't start till 1, and then she leaves.
Experience with the artist, the Fox design artist, who scammed me basically out of $4,000. So where I left off in part 1 was that she had tattooed me for 2.5 hours, got the outline done, and then said that she had to leave. So I knew I was going to have to come back for a second appointment. So we booked it for in January. And then she says that she charges a daily rate and that I owe her $1,900 for today, for 2.5 hours. I was there at 9 a.m. and this was about almost 4 o'clock.
Unbelievable.
She needs the $1,900. And I said, you quoted me $1,700. She says, I didn't quote you anything because it was a phone consultation. So it's my word against hers at this point.
Yep.
She says, I didn't quote you anything. And I said, but you asked for 50% of the cost.
So do you remember that she had her first consultation on Zoom? Yeah. That was so that it was never written down. So the quote was never written down. And this is literally, so many companies try and do this all the time. It's why I love getting things in writing and hate having phone calls. The amount of times, like almost every time I have a phone call meeting with a company, they then go back on whatever they said in the phone call and then claim it never happened. It happens so often.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's why we don't really ever do phone calls with like sponsors either. It's like, email us.
Email us, let's
They're
get
like,
it.
oh, can we phone you about the sponsorship? And we're like, no.
No. But even when huge companies are like, yo, can we have a chat about like all of our expectations and stuff? And we'll go, sure, okay, fine. For that company, I'll do it. They'll still do the exact same thing.
Which is $850, and that's why I sent you the $850 deposit. She said, nope, that's just my deposits. I charge a daily rate. So if you don't want to have the cops called on you, you need to pay me $1,900 today. for 2.5 hours worth of work. When I was there at 9 a.m., willing and very much ready to get my tattoo done in that day. So I paid her $1,900. Because that $850 deposit, oh yeah, that doesn't go towards the $1,900. That goes towards your last session. Okay. So at this point, I paid her $180, $850, and now $1,900 for an outline. 2.5 hours worth of tattooing, actual work. At this point, I have kind of two options. I can cut my losses and stick with this outline 2.5 hour work, maybe get it done by someone else for $3,000. Or I come back, get it finished, and I know that she's gonna ask for that additional $1,000. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna tell her I'm not paying her any more.
Yeah, she was like,
I'm
gonna
get it
go
finished,
back.
and then tell her I'm not giving her any more. $3,000 is more than enough. So that was my plan. I went to the next tattoo appointment in January, and she does about 3.5 hours more work, just over 3 hours.
So it could have been one day, by the way. Could have easily been one day. She got there at 9. The tattoo overall took, 3.5 hours and then 2.5 hours, so 6 hours. She got there at 9 and the woman needed to leave at 4. That would have fit in nicely, even with breaks.
Get it finished, get the details. Now I'll show you what it looks like so you have an idea. So this is the finished tattoo.
It's,
Okay.
once again, completely lacking any shading. Where is the shading? Where is the depth? She just does line work and more line work. I know you could say this is kind of what's the word for that kind of shading? Not like crosshatch, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a type of shading, but let's be honest with ourselves. It's just line work.
That's color. That's color by numbers. That's like a coloring book.
Yeah. Great.
Fuck?
No wonder she was like, we can't cover this because she doesn't know how to fucking shade anything.
Dude, that's so bad.
It's not the.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's crap. I would just say it's very blah design.
Yeah.
And also, it's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That bottom flower is crap.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. She's way overcharging for
Bruh.
what she can do, right?
Honestly, I just get the tattoo finished and walk out afterwards. I'd be like, thanks.
Prepare for part 3.
Just goes up to about there. So she finishes that tattoo, okay? 3 hours. Go to part 3.
Okay, let's do part 3.
You're ready? You're not even ready for part 3.
Mate, I would have just been like, oh no, I paid you for it already. I got the receipt and everything
Part
like that.
3 of the $4,000 tattoo debacle. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Where I left off is that she had finished my tattoo. And so she had done just over 3 hours more work. In total, about less than 6 hours work. Here's the tattoo. I told her I'm not paying any more money. You have $3,000 already. She says if I don't pay, that she's going to call the cops.
Call the cops.
I leave. She calls the cops. Of course. And not only that, she takes my driver's license with my personal information and she sends it to every tattoo artist that she knows and tells them that I don't pay and tries to get me blacklisted. All these tattoo artists are sharing on their Instagram stories my driver's license.
I'm suing all you. I'm suing everyone.
Literally.
I'm suing everyone. I'm getting all that money back.
She doxes her, right? She literally already had $3,000 of this woman's money, and she feels so entitled to more money, even though she's already overcharging, and she's done crappy work, and she's charged her a full day for 2 hours of freaking tattooing, that on top of that, she sends her ID out.
You cannot share people's social.
To random people.
I'm suing. That's a free tattoo. Thank you.
Thanks. Insane, right? So then,
and saying that I skip out on paying and I'm a criminal.
you paid
I'm getting people
$3,000.
messaging me saying, "Hey, this is you. What's going on?"
Yet people are messaging her.
Anyways, I talked to the cop, or the cop calls me, and I explain the whole situation and tell him, no, I did pay her. And so he says, okay, I understand. This is not the first complaint that he's had, or first issue he's had with this artist. Multiple people have had issues with her. He says that, as absolutely awful as it is what she's doing and immoral, legally, I do have to pay her what the balance is because she can make up whatever prices she wants. She is not doing anything technically illegal. So of course I immediately e-transfer her the balance. So at this point she's got $4,000 for.
I wouldn't have done it. I would have been like,
less than
no,
6
officer, I
hours
paid the
training.
amount that we.
No, at least I
It was
have a
never in
tattoo.
writing.
I'm happy that
Your
I
word against
have
hers.
a tattoo and not just a crappy drawing of a fox, but it's also $4,000. I tried to share my story about her on Facebook, my experience, and she threatened to sue me for defamation. I had multiple people,
Her shop
same sort
would
of
be in
situation where it was
ashes
on
by the time I
Facebook.
was done.
I had shared my review, and people were doing reviews on her shop, bringing the shop down, and it was down to like 1 star as well. She went and had all of those reviews deleted, and she had her shop blocked for a while. Again, she got that all sorted out, and then just went on her merry way, scamming more
Yeah, I'd go
people.
to court and be like, I paid what we
I
agreed.
backed down about sharing my story because I was scared. But I am sharing my story now so that hopefully no more people get scammed like I did and like this other person did. And other people as well have reached out to me with similar stories. So yeah, definitely avoid her. Don't make the same mistake I did.
I wouldn't have paid. I wouldn't have sent the £1,000.
Now, do you know what's crazy as well? In my opinion, I think the reason that she is overcharging so dramatically for these tattoos, other than being an asshole, is that I don't think she can do them. Like, she took on that cover up, knowing full well she couldn't do it. It's a very simple cover up in the sense of it's a botanical shape, right? So like you can easily have it go over there. She was saying, oh, if you don't like it just going here, we can have it come up my neck as well. But no, that's not good enough. She couldn't do it, right? So she's like, oh yeah, it's more money. Oh, I'm not doing it, but you still have to pay me more. And the fact is, she knows that these people are scared, even though all she's doing is like trickle-truthing them how much it's actually going to cost, and just, yeah, she's a scammer with a needle set. Now, this is the last bit of it, which I actually thought was crazy. So everyone's seen this, right? It's been all over the place. And one of the things that, like, it's literally Tattoo Gate on TikTok right now. One of the things that people have been saying is that the sketch that she got for $1,500 is 10 minutes of work. It's nothing. It's embarrassing. She would charge you for that. And it is not what that kind of money should buy you in terms of a sketch, right?
Yeah. No, you should be getting
Hopefully
fucking
one part.
art.
Yeah. Like if you're saying, hey, I'm going to pay, because like usually you may get a sketch that looks something like that, right? Because it gives you an idea of placement. Like, you know, when you put the outline on, right, that obviously doesn't have the shading in it. It doesn't have the color in it. So that kind of a sketchy outline isn't wrong in the sense of like, if you're just trying to say, hey, do you like the way this looks?
Yeah, I get that.
We can move some things around.
It's more for placement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've seen sketches which are really basic sketches of like a concept, but I don't know, for 1,500 quid, like
You're expecting like a piece of art.
I want
right?
to see, like, I want you to sketch. I want me sketch. I want different, like, kind of like angles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For 1,500 quid, I want a fucking day's work out of that.
So that's what all of the artists have been saying. It's like she completely scammed you. That sketch is worth like nothing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to go as fast as I can.
So, this
I
guy
wanted a tattoo by this artist who I love.
says,
He's very
"I know
talented
what she
on
did.
Instagram.
I've seen that
This has
fox."
nothing to do with her talent as a tattoo artist,
Right.
just kind of the business practices that I've dealt with over the last 24
take that
hours.
back, 'cause we've already had this.
No way.
So, he grabbed his iPad,
It was $180.
and
That was
he-
on our website.
No
That's fine.
way.
He traces
had a
the
Zoom
fox.
consult on Friday. I showed her these
Right.
reference photos as to what I wanted for a half
Here,
upper
let me-
ox to look
so
like.
he traces out the fox.
Fox
which
is
we
my favorite
love.
animal I've ever
There's no way.
that she had. These three option was $1,500
Right,
plus tax,
traces
and you
all the
get,
whiskers,
a
gets it all
concept sketch,
nice,
and you can make one
gets
minor
little
change
fox
and a final
mouth.
design that you'll review.
Great.
Foxes are very cute.
Plus
And this is
tax,
actually the bit that shocked me,
where
right? So he's, yeah.
multiple kind of
He sketches it all
blindsided,
out,
you
right?
know
And then
what
he
to say.
takes his fox, right? And he overlays it. And I'm like, oh,
She asked
well, the
which
face
which option
matches,
worked
but the
best for
body
me.
doesn't,
Obviously,
right?
number one,
And
because,
that's
like,
what
it's
surprised
super
me,
expensive.
right?
Yeah.
Was I was like,
And she had these
oh,
pictures,
well,
so I
that's
was
weird.
confident that she
I
was
don't know
gonna
if
make
maybe
me
I
a
should have got the other version of this, but
Emailed
there we
her
go. So
immediately
you can
to
see the
tell her
face lines up, right? But
that
So-
the body
I wanted a
doesn't.
full
But
dress,
then
I
what he
wanted a tail,
does,
I wanted
which actually really
Fox
made me
is the
go,
main
oh
feature.
shit,
This
is
isn't
he literally
what
just
I
grabs
asked
the
for with
legs,
my pictures I
drags
sent
them down,
She said that if
and is
I
like,
wanted another sketch, she was
ta-da!
going to charge me the difference between
I've done
option
your
1 and option
fox.
number 2, which
Oh my
is
God.
It's the
God.
same flipping thing, and she just
She
added
said
a
it was
hint
my
of
fault
chest
that I
hair.
wasn't clear, that I wanted a full fox.
Dude.
Yeah.
But like honestly, these are the
And
two
so he
pictures
was
I
like,
sent her,
yeah.
both full fox,
It's
both
the same. It's the
Yeah.
same.
position.
It's 1 for 1.
Literally.
Bro.
And just
don't know
add
how
some
much clearer
sketchy
I
ass
could have been.
flowers. I
She
mean,
didn't-
like, let's look at the flowers. Look at that. Like, is that $1,000 a bloody flower? It is not.
That's what I expect for free when I've paid for the tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, I expect the sketch to be kind of like, that's included. That's just what I did for.
Same position. I don't know how much clearer I could have been. She didn't
Yeah.
ask if I wanted a
Fox.
full fox. I didn't think I had to say I wanted a full fox. There's gonna be a part
Lovely.
two.
There we go. That's $1,000. Isn't that insane? So not only was she clearly scamming loads of people, but also she is potentially literally
Mind blown.
stealing other people's art and
Mind
then
blown.
selling it on for 1,500 quid.